Hello everyone, this is Cordy giving you a shoutcast between mouzMana and mTwDimaga here on Desert Oasis. This shoutcast is sponsored by lucomputers.com. Go ahead and check out their website for StarCraft 2 tested computers. Now, hopefully the popping will be gone. I'm using my old microphone, my old headset, and it was still an expensive headset. I was trying to get a fuller voice from my condenser mic, but there seems to be some static issues. Let me know if this is better, but my voice does sound a little bit more tingy. Now for LU Computers, go ahead and check out their website. There are StarCraft 2 tested computers on their homepage. There's a link on the top right hand side. mouzMana now laying down a very early 9 pylon, while over here we do not see anything strange coming from mTwDimaga. mTwDimaga opening up with that standard Overlord build as opposed to using the extractor trick to get 12 over 10 food. Moving out with those Overlord now, we do have these two Zerg, these two drones now moving out as well, and now we should probably see a gateway. No, we should be seeing the gateway sometime soon. Is he going to do a complete wall off? Or what exactly is he trying to do? Yeah, I believe that is a complete wall off here. So the only way to really get out will be to take down this pylon. Now that is an interesting move by mouzMana. Perhaps he's expecting some sort of rush play. mTwDimaga, on the other hand, may be able to open up into the Mutalisk very, very easily, as he's throwing down a 14 spawning pool and not doing an early expansion. I believe that's exactly what mouzMana was thinking, that mTwDimaga was going to try to go for an early expansion, just because the starting locations are so far apart. But mTwDimaga instead going for some gas and maybe trying to go for early Mutalisk. Early Mutalisk would be a very, very effective strategy at this stage in the game, just because the flight distances between these two bases is so much lower than the walking distances between these two bases. No zealots being trained just quite yet. You can see what's happening in the production tab. One zealot being trained, spawning pool now completed. Or spawning pool going to be completed in just a moment, as that probe just walking in and around that base. We should be seeing some extra gas coming in, and we'll see what he spends that extra or that first 100 gas on, whether he goes for the metabolic boost or trains up to tier 2 on this hatchery to a layer. Probe now moving around, and as we train up this queen, I got to assume that he is not going to try to go for that tier 2 just quite yet, just because the training on that hatchery, it will take quite some time before he gets up to 100 gas over here. One zealot, okay, so there is enough room for zealots to come in and out of there, being able to hold that position right there absolutely perfectly. Now we do get the metabolic boost being researched, and we may see mTwDimaga try to train up a second queen. That is a recent strategy that I've seen Zerg players do, getting more queens than they have hatcheries. It allows them for early creep tumors, and early creep tumors would be very effective on a map this large. And yeah, a second queen now being trained up, as we also have an evolution chamber coming into play. So we may be trying to get the armor upgrades on those on those Zerglings, or the weapons upgrade, depending on if we see a forge in the base of mouzMana. mouzMana now chrono boosting a Stalker. Stalker being chrono boosted is going to force this Overlord to get away. Overlord trying to fly as fast as it can. Stalker already going to be trained, and now move out. Will it be able to shoot it down in time? Needs to do that move and attack, and try to catch up to it. Taking down Overlord, already down to 131 hit points, trying to get right underneath mTwDimaga, using these doodads on the screen to limit how far that Stalker can get to it, but it may be just enough, and down it goes. The splatters into that ravine right there. Over here we now have the spawning pool, or the spawn larva, now being used, and we also have the level 1 claw upgrades. So staying at tier 1, getting the level 1 claw upgrades. So we're going to have a very, very strong Zergling build. Over here, I do not think we're training up another... Oh, we are training up a third queen. So as mTwDimaga got this hatchery over here, decided to train up a third queen. So we're going to have a lot of Zerglings being produced out of these two hatcheries, with that spawn larva and creep tumors being spread out across the map as well. Over here, one Zergling should be activating the Xel'Naga Watchtower, isn't quite yet. One Zergling here and here as well. So really, mTwDimaga have really great field of vision. Zergling's going to go on up, check this location over here, see that there is no expansion, try to run up this ramp, but know that there is still a Stalker, a Sentry, and now a Zealot in this position, so that Zergling will not be long for life. If it tries to run up that ramp, gonna get zapped, yeah, but at least sees this position over here. Back over here, drones. No, drones not being transferred. Drones now gonna go ahead and morph into spine crawlers. Spawn larva already being used on this hatchery. We'll be able to get a lot of drones off of this. Taking a look at the harvester count, Dimaga behind, sitting at 19 harvesters compared to mouzMana's 26. But because he is not mining any gas at this stage in the game, he can afford to do this as a fourth queen being trained. Okay, I do not know why Dimaga was going for 4 queens. 4 queens is a very unusual strategy, unless he really wants to try to get those creep tumors over as quickly as possible. But then you would also consider trying to get the Overlord's spawn larva ability at tier 2, and then those creep tumors are able to pop up where the Overlord are spawning those creep tumors and move them out much more quickly as well. So queens may be moving out. Queens are sitting on a lot of energy army-wise. mouzMana sitting at 1050 versus Dimaga's 850, and there is no gas in the army of Dimaga, just pure Zerglings. Level 1 weapons upgrade, no armor upgrade yet, and we do see a forge now coming in. So if that forge gets that level 1 weapons upgrade, those zealots will be able to hit all of those units, and in come Dark Templars, and this is going to be GG. Dimaga not going for tier 2, does not have the right unit combination, and Dark Templars are just going to be able to ruin this. We do have an evolution chamber, so a spore colony needs to be laid down immediately. Yeah, in come those spore colonies. 2 spore colonies now coming in, now being trained, and this one Dark Templar may be able to take it down. This second spore colony, however, taking some fair amount of damage, and now this Dark Templar dealing damage towards the spine crawler over here. We should probably start seeing some sort of transfusion, and no, this spore colony taken down as well. So Dimaga definitely hurting. 4 queens and such a strong base defense unit, but unable to do anything really. Needs to start transfusing, trying to surround this spore colony, isn't surrounding it, and now these Zerglings need to get in position. Is it going to be able to come up in time? No! And this is just absolutely horrible. There was one split second that spine crawler was able to get sight, and now, there is a spore colony. Spore colony, however, does not have sight or field of vision. Needs to get a transfusion off onto that spore colony. Are we going to get it? No, no transfusion off on the spore colony, and Dimaga really hurting still. And now losing this hatchery over here. This hatchery now taken down. Dimaga says GG. So an amazing Dark Templar rush coming in from Mana here. So mouzMana doing a Dark Templar rush, hiding his Dark Shrine tech, getting the Twilight Council, and completely catching Dimaga off guard. And Dimaga was sitting at tier 1 the whole entire game, could not train an Overseer because wasn't at tier 2, and I think that's really what hurt him. Wasn't really ready and was not really expecting those Dark Templars. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay here on Desert Oasis.